MG, that's how we live. Okay, let's go, 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 okay, let's go.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome to another episode of 7 p.m. in Philly. I was waiting for it. Real bad man things. Real bad man
That's
things.
it. Real bad man.
Oh, man. Now we got another good episode for them, man. We just back to back. We just hitting y'all. We just busting y'all upside the head with this one, man.
Out of the park.
You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about the things that, and this is a serious episode. Like, we're just going to, this is serious. I don't know if there's going to be many laughs in this episode because we have to talk about the things that are going on in the city. And this is a call for action. Call to action, man. And before we get started with this, if you have not subscribed yet, please like, subscribe, send some comments, send some love. We out here doing this for y'all.
And share with your mama.
Yeah, share with everybody, your grandmama, your mama, your auntie, and all of them. Because episodes like this are important and episodes like this are impactful. So I think that we need to really speak to it, and that's what we're going to do as the podcast that we have created for y'all. This episode is a call to action. We have a lot of things that's going on in the city, a lot of crazy things going on in the city. And one of the things that I've recently witnessed is pertains to car theft and the things going on around our items that we spend a lot of money on, man. Like
hard-earned money.
Hard-earned money. Like, people spend a lot of money on this, and at a blink of an eye, it could be taken away or vandalized, or parts and bits and pieces of it could be taken away from us. And I think we have a real issue when it comes to that.
Major.
One of the things I recently witnessed was I was asleep. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and, you know, I'm a light sleeper. I don't sleep very hard. And I witnessed a vehicle, one of my neighbor's vehicles, rims being taken off. And we'll share a video with you guys, and during the video you'll see them, you know, 4 masked men. So this was premeditated. This wasn't something that just happened. They came through and they stole my neighbor's rims. And I go out the window and I take a look and I say, yo, what are you guys are doing? And prior to me recording, when I open up the blinds and I see it, I see it's like NASCAR, dude. These kids are on their knees, one person per tire, with a wireless drill, and it's like, yo, Daytona Speedway.
It's almost
bro.
like talent. Like, damn, like you should actually like do this for the car racing.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I open up the window and I go, yo, what the hell y'all doing?
Yeah.
And all of them stop. Like, they're like little ants. They just stop, and they looked up, and you would think they would run away. They didn't run away. They just kept doing what they were doing. The one takes off, goes and get the vehicle, backs it up, and they throw the tires in and they take off.
Man, they finished the job.
They took off.
They
bro.
finished the job.
They took off, and without a care in the world, man. Without a care in the world, and that's the part that kind of like breaks my heart, bro. It's kind of like, you know, I called my neighbor and I was like, hey. As soon as I called him, he knew.
Really?
That's the crazy part about it. As soon as I called him, he said, oh, brother, they stole my rims.
Oh, wow.
And I said to him, yeah, they stole your rims. And I felt helpless that I couldn't do anything, because it's kind of like, number one, when things like this are happening, you know, prior to this, I would have ran outside and took on all these 4 guys. But, like, you know, things like this has happened before. And my family members and my girlfriend and people have told me, like, yo, you have much more to live for. Absolutely. Do not go run outside.
Than guys who are trying to steal rims off of somebody else.
Do not go outside and do these type of things, because it's not worth it.
Absolutely.
It's not worth it.
Absolutely.
So for me, I think seeing that happen, man, it's heartbreaking. And I don't think these kids, and there were kids that were doing this, I don't think they take into account the impact of it. The impact of what occurred. They don't think that, hey, this could be someone's grandmama car. This could be someone's auntie's car. This could be, you know, someone's last. You know what I'm saying? Because, there's a girl down the street, her car got stolen. She didn't have full coverage. So now that car's gone.
Yeah.
How am I get to work?
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, I think these kids, and we'll go down the list and of who should be doing something and who should take accountability.
Sure.
But first off, for me, I think, there's kids involved in this. So I think, parents need to sit down and talk to their kids and have a conversation with them and make them understand the impact of that.
Absolutely.
And make them say, yo, what if someone did that to me?
Absolutely.
As your mama, as your auntie, as your grandmama?
Sure.
How would you feel about that? Because I don't think they think about that, bro.
But unfortunately, I don't think it does cross their mind.
But I'll let you speak to it and what's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think it's just it just really shows the unfortunate events that happens on a daily basis in the city. Also, too, understanding that they're not going to wealthy billionaire neighborhoods stealing their cars, stealing their rims and their parts. You're going into the very neighborhood and the neighbors that you live or grew up amongst, and you're taking hardworking people's items and what they own and what they worked hard for. That's why I think it's more frustrating. Not that I'm saying you should go to the rich,
right,
but you're doing it again. You're doing it in your own backyard.
Yeah.
And this is why the city is where it's at. And this is why most major cities are kind of where they're at. It's everyone crapping right in their own backyard.
For sure.
For
sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like you're doing it to your own people in a sense.
That's
you know
another
what I'm saying?
thing. That's another thing though too.
You're doing it to your own people. You know what I'm saying? The people that, and that's like the thought process behind it is kind of like we rally behind when an injustice happens to us. But we don't put that same thought process into it when we're doing things to to the same people that we would fight for injustice for.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we really need to sit back and think about what are we doing and who are we doing it to. And I'm not saying to go ahead and go do it to other people, whatever. It's wrong. Wrong is wrong at the end of the day. But when we really look at it in the nitty gritty of it, like, bruh, if a cop came down the street and killed us, you would be protesting.
Right.
But the same people that would be protesting are, you're gonna steal our cards. You're gonna steal. I mean, like, if you just got to make it make sense.
Not even that. These very kids that are at some, we'll just say stealing cars. They're also creating an environment of hostility.
Yeah.
It's a lack of safety.
Correct.
So if you are stealing cars on this strip, can my kids even play outside?
Right.
Can my kids go to the corner store? Can they go grab some ice cream and hang out with their friends and play double dutch or hopscotch or whatever? Can my son even sit on the porch with his girl or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like anything like that. So it's also an environment of hostility that you're building around that comes with poverty, which leads to crime. So it's also that lack of safety there as well. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, when you do things like this, the same people that you're doing this to are now, they're going to leave the neighborhood. So potentially, okay, I have a nice car. I'm trying to uplift my neighborhood. I'm trying to give back to my neighborhood by living here. Now, I don't feel safe. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pack my stuff up and I'm going to go to the suburbs. Suburbs is already good. It's already good there. They already have good schools. They already have all the stuff that you would want your neighbor to have. But you're not giving me the opportunity or the chance to even help out the neighborhood, because all you do is take from me when I'm trying to give back to you.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's tough, and people need to really sit down with themselves and think about what you're really doing when you're doing these things. You know what I'm saying? You're taking, in the long run, you're taking away from yourself, because all the amenities that you thought you would get by having the people that live here being amongst you, it's now going to be taken away or not even come, because now the people who have the opportunity to give these things to you don't want to live amongst you.
And that's why those wealthy black people who were from the city or lived in the city, as soon as they got well enough, like you said, where do they go? Right to the burbs.
They go to the
Because
burbs.
they're like, I'm not dealing with this with y'all no more.
No.
I'm at a point now where I can actually leave and not deal with y'all. Everybody don't want to be around a certain class of people, and it's not race.
Right.
Let's just be honest. There's different classes and tiers of people.
Of course.
So just like white people, wealthy white people feel the same way about poor whites and Latinos and everybody else. Yeah. We as black people feel the same way. At some point, you get tired of just wanting to be better and saying that you want to be better as a people. Yeah. But there's still shenanigans that go on.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So black people feel the same way. We get sick and tired of the same type of stereotypes that are pushed on us because y'all are not willing to make changes and kill the stereotypes. We finna go see what the burbs is like because it's more quiet out there. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And the first thing, when I was talking to my neighbor, the first thing he said to me when it happened, and there's nothing worse than getting something that you work hard for. And this man, the car hasn't been on the block more than 7 days, bro. He just got this car. And the first thing he says to me, he goes, man, I think I'm moving to the suburbs.
Now, can I ask what's his ethnic background?
He's Asian.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's Asian. First thing he said, I'm moving to the suburbs, bro. I can't take this. I can't endure this. You know what I mean? And certain people can deal with certain things. And it's, my rims hasn't been stolen before, but my car's gotten broken into multiple times and all that. And it's kind of like, nobody cares.
And that stuff happens in the burbs. I was staying with my grandparents at one point, and same thing. Woke up, leaving the house, and their car doors were left wide open and cleared everything. Yeah. And they're in Willingboro, New Jersey. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy how that could even happen. So the same stuff that happens in inner cities, it finds its way and trickles out into the burbs out there. Like that as well. There's hood burbs, there's hood burbs everywhere as well. Absolutely. Because like I said, it's a mentality. Yeah. It's a mentality. So just because certain groups of people leave out the neighborhood, if you bring certain qualities and characteristics from the inner city or poverty stricken, you just bring that into the suburbs. So now you have like a Pemberton, you got like, real rough suburban areas, which we call the hood burbs. You know what I mean? So,
one thing I want to say before we move on to the accountability part of who should be accountable for certain things like this, I think it should start with your neighbors in your neighborhood. Like, at the end of the day, if, certain people are not going to do certain things to protect us, we got to start protecting ourselves. And if we see something, say something. Like, I don't understand when we switched up and, we don't want to protect each other and all that because of this snitch thing, whatever. Like, yo, bro, like, if something's happening, you see it, it could prevent from happening. It could happen to your own family member. So you see something, say something, protect each other. Don't fall for this, like, oh, no snitching this, no snitching that. Like, yo, bro, we're not in the streets. I'm a regular civilian.
I'm glad you said that. Thank you.
I am a regular civilian. And if you are a regular civilian,
you don't go by street code.
You don't go by street code.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Officer, he lived right down there.
He lived right down there,
the
bro.
Yellow House.
Because at the end of the day, for me, I have kids. I have a family. And if you robbed my neighbor, what makes me think, what, I'm special? Yeah. Which you're just going to be like, oh, that's Steve. I'm going to bypass his house? Hell no.
Right.
You're going to rob me too. So you know what? If I saw something, I'm damn near sure going to tell on your ass. And I think that's what the neighborhood, if the police are not going to do it, if other higher ups are not going to do it, we have to do it. And I think we need to start taking accountability for our own actions because we'll see things, we'll record it and share it on Instagram instead of sharing it to the proper people that needs to be sent to.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying?
Come on, Pastor.
Like, and then that's nah, for real, bro. It pisses me off, and it happens in my own neighborhood. And on my street, on my block, I'm one of the few and only people that come outside when things happen. But when something happened in my car and I want somebody else to come outside for me, nobody comes outside. Because why? Because A, they can care less, or two, they're just so comfortable.
But speaking on that, that's why I feel like the culture, we lost certain parts of good culture from back in the day. Growing up back in the day when our era and younger, it was nothing for our parents. I remember my mom and they used to sit outside for hours talking to the neighbors. And neighbors, not just one neighbor, neighbors.
For sure.
There was a closer community that was there. So again, if something did happen, my mom was close enough to your mother to most certainly give your mom a call. If something happened to you, my mom was close enough to your mother or father to give them a call and say, Steve's up the street, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Matter of fact, Dwuan up there with him too. I'm about to get both of them. Right. We lost that. Yeah. So that's what it is. We lost a certain essence of culture of one, the whole no snitch thing, but where it led to was that lack of community and tribalism. Yeah. We don't see that anymore. But a lot of that has to do, we'll talk in other subjects, but a lot of that has to do with just the change of the culture, I'll say, so far, yeah.
Absolutely,
definitely.
Man. Absolutely. And, You know, my thing is like for parents, we have to do a better job on policing our kids. Because when I woke up at 3:00 in the morning, I looked out the window. It wasn't grown men doing that. It was kids. It was babies out there. You can tell. You can see the look on their face. You can see how they move, their mannerism. There's some babies out there. And had I been someone else, or had I had a weapon and I wanted to, I was so upset. Babies could have lost their lives for some damn tires. Parents, kids, if y'all listen to this, understand, like, you losing your life. You potentially lose your life for some tires, for some rims. This is where we've come as a community. This is where we've come as people.
Yeah.
We're in 2025 and we still in tires?
Yeah.
Rims?
Crazy.
Come on, guys. We got to be better than this, man. We got to be better than this, man. Honestly, and I'll segue into this. You know, when I had the video and I tried to show the police the video, you know what she said to me? She said, "I don't want to see this."
Are you serious?
I don't want to see this. She looked me directly in my eyes and said, "Yo, I don't want to see this. Essentially, I don't care."
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to see this.
Right.
It's crazy work. That was a crime.
Right.
And you don't want to see the evidence?
Right.
Wow. Oh.
And that's the part that kind of bothers me, because I'm just kind of like, yo, your job as a police officer is protect and serve.
Thank you.
Not protect and serve when you feel like it. Protect and serve when duty calls. And duty was doing your duty is, yo, listen, someone stole something from me. And I want to try to get it back. And two, I want this prevent from happening again.
Sure.
And I think that's the part that I feel like people need to be held accountable, and I feel like the police needs to be held accountable for their actions, the things like that. It's not always when they're out there murdering someone, for no cause or no reason behind it, or an improper arrest or improper, we have to hold them accountable for not doing their jobs when it comes to protecting and serving.
Sure.
And maybe we need to redefine protect and serve.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I definitely think, specifically with the inner city and city in general, I think the narrative between, or the dichotomy between police and the city, especially black urban cities, there's always been, discrepancy there. There's always been some type of strife there. So that right there is a long, deep history that could we do it in our lifetime? I don't know, but we're starting by what we're doing now, talking about it. But yeah, even I notice a difference of how police operate in the suburbs. Yeah. Even black suburban towns versus in the inner city. For example, in the suburbs, you call the cops, they will be there within 3 minutes. For sure. If they can make it even earlier, they'll definitely be there earlier, and they definitely bring a SWAT of people for a tiny phone call.
Absolutely.
In the inner city, this is why people lean on their own, simply because they know that if I'm defending myself, I got a good 20 minutes before the cops even come, and they won't even care. So I'm not sympathizing, saying that people do what they got to do, but it's a nature of humans to protect themselves. Yeah. So if they know I can't rely on the cops to come and even protect me or my family in this right now, I got to take care of business until they get here. Yeah. So again, it's the mindset of people from the inner city versus the cops. But are they trained enough to realize and think this is how they think differently? It's all a social construct, right? So I think cops should think more about how people in the inner city and how these civilians operate. And I think people in the inner city should understand how cops operate. Yeah. And I think they should, again, come together and just have a more understanding. And that, I think, there'll be a better relationship between the two versus eons of strife between the two.
And I agree. And I believe when it comes to that, I think it starts from prevention. You have to create a system to where it's like, all right, you know what? The cops feel comfortable around me, and I feel comfortable around the cops. For me, living in the city, and it's dumbfounding to me that how no one knows. Like, I feel like back in the day, everyone knew Sergeant so-and-so and this police officer and this and that. Yes. I have no idea who's in my community, who's this officer. I don't know them. But I think it's a simple thing. It's a simple fix. Get out your damn car, walk down the street, knock on doors and say, hey, I'm Officer So-and-so. I'm patrolling from Monday through Thursday. I'll be here around this time. If you see anything, shout me a holler. Here's my card. You know how easy that would be? You know how much crime we would prevent or we would solve from doing that simple thing?
Yes.
Because we would know, oh, this is Officer So-and-so. I'm not afraid of him.
Because all it is human interaction.
Right.
Just like how they have their clubs and they talk amongst themselves.
Right.
People do the same thing in the inner city. It's all social interaction. Right. So what makes it any different from civilian of the inner city versus the police force? You get what I'm saying? So I completely agree with that. Yeah.
And
go ahead.
And I'm not asking for you to do something crazy. I'm asking you to do a regular, like just knock on a door and say, hey, I'm Officer So-and-so. I'm from the whatever district. This is me and my partner. And if every officer did that around their neighborhood that they were protecting, we would have better neighborhoods. We would have crimes being solved because people are more inclined. If I feel comfortable with you and say, yo, Officer So-and-so, hey, I saw this happening on this date. You know what would happen? It would make everyone's life so much easier, bro. Yeah. Because now people are afraid of police and police are afraid of people.
Absolutely. Yes.
And where does that get us? Where's that gotten us? It's gotten us nowhere. It's gotten us here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like this awkward tension between two people at a party. It's like everyone sees that they're on this side of the room, they're on that side of the room, and anything can tip off that fast too as well. So yeah, it's like this awkward tension between the two. But I think as well, we need to do a better job at promoting people from our communities to be the very people that police protect and serve us as well. We need people from our inner cities who become our firemen, who become our police force, who become our mayors, who become our judges. Because no offense, someone who grew up their whole entire, Emily, who grew up her whole life from the suburbs, yes, she might be a police officer here, but there's no connection to the inner city. There's no connection to this neighborhood, to this street, or the Johnsons who lived here since the 70s. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. There's no connection because she's from the suburbs. And again, police culture, I don't know because I'm not a cop, but I do know I have friends and I grew up around people who are cops. There is a culture that they teach them natural hostility towards the inner city, maybe versus the suburbs. Like, it's the inner city, so you got to be on your P's and Q's. You better have you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not all the time. I'm not going to generalize, but I do think that there's a natural hostility that they teach them that when you go into the inner city, it's serious work. Yeah. These are some serious people that you're dealing with, bad people. So they tend to be more tense about it anyway. You get what I'm saying? So that's naturally going to cause, again, this tension and this awkward tension between both groups.
Yeah, no, and I completely agree, but something it can't keep going.
It can't keep going like this.
Way.
No, it can't.
You know, because at the end of the day, if it keeps going like this, then the city's gonna go to shit. You know, and I felt like it has been going to shit. I feel like at the end of the day, like we need to do a better job of holding people accountable. Mm-hmm. And I'll segue into this because when you speak to the police and you say to them, hey, can you come by here more often? Can you come do this and do that more often? You know what they say to us? They say, oh, there's nothing we can do. It's not us. It's the mayor. This and that. The mayor, there's not enough cops. We don't have enough police patrol, or we don't get paid enough. Or we're told, hey, we can't, if someone steals a car, we can't chase them. Or if we do, we have to do it with our lights off. You know, and the thing is, right, the way the world works, if there is no consequence for your actions, then you're just going to keep repeating that same action and over because these kids know and these people know who are doing this. Hey, if I steal some rims, you know what's going to happen to me? Nothing.
I'm stealing more.
If I steal this car, you know what's going to happen to me? Nothing.
I'm doing more.
You know what I mean? If I rob this person, you know what's going to happen to me? Nothing. So there's no consequences behind the action, and they know that. So therefore, you know what they're going to do? Keep doing it more.
Absolutely.
So we need to hold accountable these people who are making these rules and making these laws. And I'll segue into the mayor because at the end of the day, shame on her, bro.
Yeah.
Shame on her. You came in, and I fully supported this mayor, man. And everyone was talking bad about her. I fully supported this lady. Fully supported her. because she brought in an energy and said, I was going to change the streets. I was going to clean it up. And you saw her doing simple, little things. Even when people didn't agree with it, I was like, you know what? She's doing something. Something is better than nothing.
Sure.
Let's try it out, trial and error.
Yeah.
And that's what she was doing. But now I'm looking at it, there's nothing. It looks like this whole thing seems like it's a money grab. It's one big money grab. I'm going to fatten my pockets up. I'm going to fatten all my constituents' pockets up and my colleagues' pockets up. And I'm going to keep it pushing.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really what it is. And like you said, every time you ask somebody, what can we do to get help or some type of assistance, it's always the same kind of answer. Oh, that's not our job. We don't know what to do. It's out of our hands. Okay, so what will fix the problem then? Who else do we need to go to? Because the moment we do go up, if we do try to knock on the mayor's door, all of a sudden they ready. All of a sudden they're gonna be standing around the door ready. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I'm not saying rioting, but that's what I'm saying. Is as soon as the city, if the city actually begin to realize that we need to start looking at not one another, this block versus that block, this Crip versus that blood and all that stuff. The moment we start realizing that it's the higher ups, we need to be looking at the mayor and other politicians above them because there's other handlers above that. Yeah. Once we realize that we need to start looking at their door and knocking on their door, all of a sudden, I promise you, police are going to know what to do. Yeah. All that, I don't know what to do. They're going to know what to do. Yeah. All right. Sure. So let's just kill all that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think this mayor, man, because when you talk to the cops, they're blaming the mayor. The mayor's blaming whoever else. For me, it's just like, as a mayor, do your job, bro. Yeah. Help out the city. Come out here and see what's really happening out here, man. You're not helping out your community, bro. Like, help these police become better police. Give them the proper training. Pay them the money. We're a big city, bro. Like, people make it seem like Philadelphia doesn't generate money.
Yeah, lots of money. Yes, bro.
They generate money because every time you look around, there's buildings being built everywhere.
Talk about it.
Everywhere you go around the city, there are new construction. So these contractors that are coming in, these builders that are coming in, all these people that are coming into the city wanting to build around here, they're giving up some money.
Gentrification.
I mean, the money's going somewhere. You mean the soda tax? What did that go to? All the hikes and all the stuff we're paying on tolls and this and that. Where is the money going to, bro? Like, I don't understand. And as the mayor, you need to speak to this stuff. The crimes that's going on every damn day. You see on the news, someone's getting shot, this and that, blah, 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 whatever. Like, what are you doing to help the police be more successful? And I'm not going to sit here and just blame it on the police because I understand it's a chain of command. But what are you doing to help the police become more successful?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think she needs to be held accountable, man. And frankly, I think this might be her last go around. I don't think she's coming back.
Especially with the trash, because I'm not in the city like that. Yeah. But like, what's the update on that? Are there people picking up trash?
They're picking up
trash everywhere.
They're picking up trash, but there's certain streets that due to the lack of trash being, they went on strike for about a week, damn near 2 weeks or so.
And the amount of trash that accumulated in 1 week. That should alarm everybody. Yeah. That as much as people, growing up as kids, we make fun of the trash man or other. We need sanitation workers.
Absolutely.
That was a big scare to see the amount of trash that accumulated in 1 week.
Absolutely.
Man, listen.
Yeah. And then for me,
pay them.
Yeah. And then for me also, it's kind of like I think us as a society don't appreciate those type of people. I mean, like, a week went by, we didn't get our trash picked up, bro. People were miserable. The city smelled so bad. But we don't understand, like, that job is not an easy job, bro. There's mice, there's roaches, there's rats, there's maggots, there's all types of stuff that you have to take. You got to breathe that stuff in on a daily basis. Sure. So when these people are sitting there complaining, because there were people, why are they protesting? They just do their job. They're just trash men.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Get your ass out of here,
Highly
bro.
Disrespectful.
That's very disrespectful because these people actually put their health on the line, bro.
Yes, to make sure that we can live a healthier lifestyle in the city. Yes, bro.
Right. You mean because they're looking, these people that have these jobs, they're ex-cons, they're felons, there's this or that. Like, nah, bro. These people are actually they paid their debt to society. Now they want a job, and those are the jobs that
Provided for them.
Provide that for them and help them out. I mean, and help them reach their goals.
Facts.
So for my things, like they allow them to do what they have to do to get by, but actually pay them.
Sure.
And the mayor and them are not paying them. I think it's a lack of respect, bro. I feel like it's disrespect.
Because my thought is like this: like none of your kids, talking about the mayor, none of your kids, I assume, live in the city. No. And if they do, you must have them in the outskirts or in a real nice area, because you would not be comfortable being the mayor, making your decisions and how you run things when you know you have family members who are living in these conditions. Yeah. You should be looking at the people that are under you like that. You should be looking at the people that you're governing over like that. You know, the city of Philadelphia. The fact that, you know, I have friends that call Philly Gotham City, and like it's probably one of the worst cities in the Northeast. And to a large degree, it is right next to Baltimore. It's like, it's pretty rough. And it's sad that the stigma has been here for so long. Sure. But yet the amount of beautiful history and good history that's a part of this city. But people are so quick to talk about the negative side about it. It can be changed. I just think also as we the people, as much as I'm always going to be like, yo, you know, go to the higher ups and see if they can help things. At the end of the day, though, maybe it's just a rebel in me. I'm always going to be like, if you need to get shit done, you're going to have to do it.
For sure.
I'm sorry. She don't wake up in the city. She not in the trenches. She don't wake up in the trenches. She don't smell what we smell. She doesn't look outside her window and see what we see. So naturally, again, she's out of touch. Yeah. It's easy to be like, oh, I don't really see that over there when you're in the offices and buildings that you're in. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So unfortunately, yes, I mean, we're doing what we can by spreading awareness, but I think at the same time, if we want to get something done, we've done it before. I just think we're going to have to just start doing it ourselves, you know?
For sure. We definitely got to have to lean in and start doing things ourselves, because ain't nobody going to do it for us.
I don't think so.
Ain't nobody going to do it for us, or no one's going to do it for us just off the whim.
But like, thank you.
They're not gonna just wake up and be like, "Oh, you know what? Let me just provide this for you guys." You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And I think, as the people, we need to start educating ourselves, myself included, on the right steps to take in order for us to get there. Mm-hmm. I feel like we play dumb when it comes to things, when it comes to our community. Everyone plays dumb, but we don't play dumb when it comes to like social media and the celebrities and all that. People know exactly what foundation and makeup and all that stuff Kim Kardashian wears and who's dating Cardi B and all that, but you don't know who your city councilman is. Right. You don't know where to go to, talk about, things that's going on in your neighborhood. Like, those are the things that we need to educate ourselves. It's just as important or even more important.
It's more important.
You mean, because, I have to say just as important because these people find this shit important, you know what I'm saying? But it's more important. You know what I'm saying? You're right, bro. Yeah. It's more important because this is what affects us every single day,
this is where you lay your head.
Yep, exactly.
This is where you lay your head. This is where if you would like to raise your family here or want to raise future generations here, this is what it's going to be.
Right.
So, yeah, I think looking to mayors and all of them, the higher ups, I think for me, that's like that's like me not taking care of my house and I'm expecting them to come fix my house.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if they're the landlord, there are certain protocols that they need to make sure are being done. However, I live there. Yeah. I need to make sure things are being done and make sure that protocol is being done for me to live there safely. So I think it is it's a one way for both people. Yeah. But at the same time, if you want to get something done, you're going to have to do it yourself.
You got to do it yourself.
Get your people. Get your people, tribal up, and let's do this.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And people don't understand the power of community, bro.
We lost that.
People don't understand the power. That. We need to get back to the power of community. Yes. And really like being out here for each other. And listen, my neighbor is just as important as I am. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if we're not gonna do that and everyone else for self, we don't win. We don't win when we're just out here for ourselves, bro. We have to be able to do it as a community. And one of the big things that the community is facing right now is these SEPTA cuts, bro.
Talk about it.
SEPTA cuts. SEPTA is cutting or has cut 32 bus routes and have shortened about 16 bus routes. And then this is, bro.
Wow.
Bro. This is 2025, bro.
That's how people commute in the city. Most people don't have cars like that.
No, but Dwuan, listen, this is 2025.
Right, this ain't 1945, bro.
This is not, we're not in horse and buggies anymore, bro. How are you eliminating bus routes? How are you cutting transportation short for people to get around the city?
Right.
Bro.
Right. When you know the city was purposely made for convenience of walking or closer transportation.
Right.
And now you cut that and take that away from, wow.
And it's extremely frustrated for me, man, like, because it's kind of like people depend on this to get to work. People depend on this to get to school. People depend on this to get to their doctor's appointments and all this stuff. So my thing is just kind of like, and it just, I can't help but the mayor, like, yo, bro, like
what are you doing?
Like,
respectfully, like what do you do in these offices, in these conference calls? What do you do? What is it?
Right, and that's thing is just kind of like, how are you letting your city turn into this?
And you're okay with being the fall guy too, because even your handlers and higher ups above you, we don't know them. We know you and know what you look like. We know your name. So you're okay with being the fall guy, aka fall girl.
Yeah.
You're cool with being the fall person that we look at when we're like, yeah, she's the mayor.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you're cool with that. Like, just understand that there's kids who literally take transportation to get to school, and then some even have to go to work after school.
Yeah.
And you cut routes.
Yeah. Man. There's people that have been living in neighborhoods for over 20, 50 years or something like that, and they've gotten accustomed to, I take this bus to my doctor's, and I take this bus to go to bingo, or I take this bus to do this. Now that's eliminated. You know what that does to someone's psyche? You know what that does to someone's mental health? Do you know what you're taking away? And this is the thing, like, you don't understand. You're not just taking away a bus route. You're taking away people's livelihood. You're killing people's health. You know what I'm saying? You're taking away education, because I read earlier that kids, it's taking them 2 hours to get to school, and I was talking to you guys about it. Like, yo, when I was that age, I didn't want to go to school anyway.
Sure.
So now it takes me 2 hours to go to school. Kids are like, yo, I'm not going to go to school. I'm just going to drop out.
Wow.
And you know what that does to a city? Now you just have a whole bunch of kids not going to school, just dropping out of school. Because why? Because we took away the resources for them to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
wow, that's crazy.
It's frustrating to me, man. It's frustrating to me. And honestly, man, shame on the mayor, man. Shame on the mayor.
Absolutely.
Because now, even like the enjoyments that we have around the city, our football games, football season's right around the corner. How are people going to get to Eagles games? Huh?
Yeah.
How are people going to get to Eagles games? How are people going to get to Sixers games? How they rely on transportation, because people do not want to drive their cars there because it's chaos.
Yeah.
So now what? You know what I mean? So it's just, for me, it's just like, shame on the mayor, man. Like, you need to do something. You need to do something, because now,
and give answers too. I'm tired of the same answers of, like, if it's money, say that. Say that. So then again, the people can figure out, because one thing about humans, we're natural problem solvers. If there is no other option, humans will naturally find another way. So if you just be like, hey, listen, we ain't got the funds, we ain't got the money, we're a poor city, and or we're poor in this aspect, we don't really know how to keep the funds going. Say that, so then people can figure out other ways and other alternatives. Humans will figure it out. But if you keep gaslighting every time on the news, or every time a reporter asks you something, and you dance around the question, and you dance over the question, and you dance under the question, you're gaslighting.
Yeah.
Get to the problem. What is it? What is the problem, so we can move forward? Yeah. That's what I just feel like it is. Like, stop playing.
Yeah. And then, the effect behind this, other than the kids saying, they're going to drop out to school, now there's going to be even more cars on the road. I mean, now there's more cars on the road, that causes much more traffic. Now, instead of getting 30 minutes to get there, now it's going to take an hour to get there, or plus. And what parking? Parking's already terrible in the city.
Sure.
So now what? Sure. Where are we going to park? And those are the things that these people don't think of, because there's a cause and effect.
Absolutely.
You're causing this. Now the effect is, now you're causing even more chaos. And when that happens, there's no parking. People are frustrated. Now you got a hot city. What happens now? Even more crime.
I was going to say, what's the twin to poverty? Crime. Anytime there's poorness, you're always going to have crime right there next to it. So again, these people are not oblivious. Yeah. They're not oblivious. They can dance around these questions all they want. You're not oblivious to what's going on. It's apparent all the time on the news. We hear about it all the time. This new crime, this homicide that just happened. Like, come on. You're hearing the same stuff we're hearing. unless you're not,
Yeah.
unless you're completely getting completely something totally different.
Yeah.
So what is it going to take? Like, what is the end goal of this? For it to literally become like the Hunger Games, or, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. And I think, my thing is just like, we need to talk about this. We need to sit down and talk about this and figure out how do we move forward with this, because this can't continue on.
It won't continue.
I mean,
it's going to lead to a boiling point.
Yeah.
Where what's that movie? The Purge.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not prophesying it. I'm not
No.
not saying I want that to happen. But come on, we live in a very real world. We live in a very real city, a very beautiful but yet very aggressive city. It's going to lead to that. There's going to be more crime rate. There's going to lead to more poverty. It's going to lead to more issues. And then eventually it's going to be out of your care where none of y'all can. No matter how many police you send out, it ain't going to fix nothing. No. So what is it going to lead to? No. How much can y'all take? Because how much can the city take?
Yeah. For me, man, like, I just, I care about Philadelphia. I've been living here for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. I want my city to win. Mm-hmm. And, not a lot of people care if we win. You guys, I feel like a lot of people care more about the sports than the actual real stuff that's going on. Mm. I mean, I feel like as Philadelphia, we need to realize that, listen, if, the city's not doing good, we're not doing good. This affects us also. Mm. I mean, like, all right, cool, we got sports and all that, but at the end of the day, these people are rich. They don't deal with the everyday things that we deal with. They don't go through the struggles that we go through. So at the end of the day, we really need to sit down and look ourselves in the mirror as Philadelphians and say, hey, we want change. Mm-hmm. When, these people are coming out, stealing our cars, vandalizing our vehicles. At the end of the day, the police are not doing anything. The mayor's not doing anything. You know who faces, who has to deal with the hardship? We do. Because if we're not facing it right there, but our insurance companies, when they pay for it, the next year our insurance goes up $200. We're dealing with that. So we have to face the backlash with everything. So if we're going to have to deal with it, we're going to have to do something about it.
Absolutely.
So, and that's my take on that, bro.
Yeah. I even say, like, slightly off topic, but still on topic. Like, even like the gentrification, like, I wasn't even aware too much of what that was, but just becoming more aware of what that is, like how, like what they're doing now, it seems like they're like allowing the city to like almost rot, right? They push the wealthy from the inner city, leave into the suburbs, and they live these nice little suburban lives and everything. And then they leave people here for decades, and people get used to adjusting to a city like this. And they still, like most humans, they still procreate, right? So there's new generations of people still coming in. Right. Then eventually, whenever they decide to come back, all the rich, wealthy come right back into the city. And what do? They gentrify. They all these streets that have been here historically, you turn into a Starbucks. Yep. You turn into a Wawa. Mm-hmm. And then you push all the people from the inner city out. Where do they go? Yeah. They go into the suburbs. They go into other places. So it's just been this, when I've learned about it, I was like, yo, this has been going on for as long as mankind has been around. For sure. So at least as long as capitalism has been around, it's been this thing where we don't know where to put the poor folks, so we just push them around everywhere. Just like in Kensington. Yeah. Everybody from the outskirts who ever get to that point where they're drug abusing, they get to Kensington, and then eventually, where did all the homeless people go? Yeah. Nobody knows even where they went. No
one knows. That's always the thing. Is kind of
that street was like 80% filled of people, in tents and everything, and they one day was completely gone. Yeah. Where did these people go? Where did you push them off to? Yeah. Where did they go?
Yeah. That's always boggles my mind. It's kind of like, you want to clean up these neighborhoods, but you're not setting up anything for these people to go and to succeed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's always like, it's just about let's for instance, Northern Liberties, or even like Fishtown for the most part. Like, that's the next town that they're coming down, and what they'll do is, when I first moved to Philadelphia, Fishtown and Northern Liberties, they didn't look like that. Yes, it looks better now. But at the end of the day, it's like, what happened to the people? What happened to the essence of it? You know what I'm saying? It's equivalent to what's happened in Brooklyn. Like, when I grew up in Brooklyn, it's not Brooklyn anymore. What happened to that culture? What happened to it? Now it's like, you see Starbucks everywhere, coffee shops everywhere. Cool, like, it's fine, whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to keep the essence of the neighborhood. You have to keep the essence of the city. Because once you do that, then it's kind of like, all right, we're kind of living in the Twilight Zone. Everything's just gonna become the same, bro.
Well, just like you said they have to. That's the thing. They should want to, morally, because like you just said, these people over time accumulate their culture here. So again, Spanish Harlem, Brooklyn, Bronx, North Philly, everywhere adopts these cultures that has been embedded in us for decades.
Correct.
Right? Since the 70s. And then all of a sudden you just randomly want to come in and just wash everything away like nothing ever happened, and then you just get rid of these people and you push them out to God knows where. You should want to, like you said, you should want to, but they have to want to. That's the problem. That's the fault. It's the morale about it. They don't want to. Yeah. They're okay with pushing people out as well as people's cultures out. America's kind of been cool with that, clearly. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's why, because at the end of the day, for me, that's what makes those neighborhoods special. The culture,
to us,
bro.
To us, apparently, though. That's the sad part.
To us, but at the end of the day, to them also. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be frank, they want to be us.
And they do capitalize off of, yes, they do capitalize off of the culture that is there. And they also capitalize off of gentrification, pushing us out and creating their own little Starbucks Wonderland there as well. So, yeah, you're right.
Because at the end of the day, the reason why they want to build it, because there is a culture there. There's a mystique there. There's something about this area that's kind of like, you know what? What if we just kind of like take this and move this around and place this here and kind of like playing Legos with us, bro. Mm-hmm. And I think we have to stop allowing that. But I think it's us as people that need to stand up and see what's going on. And, you know, as black entrepreneurs or people of the neighborhood, be like, oh, you're just trying to gentrify this? Hey, let's come together. Let's buy up certain neighborhoods and let's beautify it just the same way that they're doing the same thing here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always say it comes back to us. Mm-hmm. We can't just allow them to just take over our neighborhoods and just do whatever they want with it and whitewash it. And then now what? Now what do we got? We got the same, you know what I mean? Because you it's funny because you'll go to one city, right? And you compare it to another city. You'll be like, Williamsburg looks just like Fishtown. You know? Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of hipsters and all that. Like but it shouldn't be that. Because Williamsburg is Williamsburg and Fishtown should be Fishtown.
And what was the culture in Fishtown before it became to look like Williamsburg?
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you can enhance the culture. I'm not saying introduce the culture to new things. I'm fine with that. But don't completely take the culture away. I think that's when you do that, you're doing a disservice to not only the community, you're doing a disservice to yourself, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To the people that live there, man. You know what I'm saying? So
I personally think the cities died, unfortunately, when industrialism died in America. So roughly around within the 1960s and 50s into the 60s, America was thriving. I think was doing really well. Those were the 2 decades that were really, really good economically wise. A lot of those states, like half of Pennsylvania, right? So like Pittsburgh, Ohio, Indiana, all up that way, Michigan, right? Motor City. These were industrial. I think it's called the Iron Belt? I think it's called the Iron Belt or something like that. So these were industrial cities that were thriving that kept America in that point in time afloat really well. So our grandparents, for the most part, did something industrial. They worked at a factory. Sometimes they didn't even have a high school degree.
Yeah, right.
But they was able to pull a lever, buy a nice house, have a family, take care of their side family, and still go on 2 vacations out of the year. I'm dead ass. Once that left into the 70s, industrialism left, we left. Yeah. You started seeing a slope all the way from the 70s all the way down. And we're just seeing just the aftermath of the continuous aftermath ever since then. Yeah. So, a lot of it is economics because we live in a capitalistic society and, it's America. America loves capitalism. There is no America without capitalism and there's no capitalism without America. Yeah. So, unfortunately, when you're on the good side of capitalism, you get to prosper, right? You get to live good. You get to flourish. All opportunities for you. If you're on the downside of capitalism, you're going to experience poverty, struggle, and trying to work through it. Yeah. So I think that's what we're dealing with. Because when I talk to my grandparents and when I used to talk to older relatives, they talk about this version of America that with this glitter in their eyes, even as black folks, because some of them did really good for themselves, despite what other challenges they went through. Economically, they did fairly good. They was able to get degrees and get good paying jobs and be a part of that level of society. Right. So they admire this version of America, that version of America with this glitter in their eyes. And I'm just like, do you not see what we live though, as your grandchild, as your great-grandchild, as your great-nephew? Do you not see what we are dealing with? Right. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's hard for them to tap out of that. So they'll, like, a lot of older generations like to say, like, your generation's lazy. Y'all don't like to work hard. Y'all didn't work as hard as we did. Y'all, I ain't gonna say y'all didn't work hard, but y'all lived in an economic booming era where you ain't really had to do much to work hard. Not saying y'all didn't work hard, but I don't think y'all could have back in y'all's day with y'all's education and just the way y'all grew up could survive the way we do. We just a little more gangster. We learned to thrive. We learned to just kind of maneuver through it, and that's just what I think.
The game has changed.
Thank you. The game
has changed. The
goalpost
has been pushed all the way back.
Flip the board over.
I mean, so I think for the older folks, they don't see it because at the end they're not essentially involved in it as they used to be. They went out and they bought their house, and their house was about $80,000 or so, and you could still make $15 an hour, and you're good. You were golden. Yes. But nowadays, you're still making $15 an hour, but your house costs at a minimum of $300,000. Mm-hmm. The game is not the same, man. The game is not the same, but I think I think it's up to us to speak on this and kind of push for it because at the end of the day, like us and the next coming are the ones that's going to be in charge of it, and they're the ones, it's up to them to make a change.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to continue to talk about these things and talk about these issues and show like, yo, this is actually a real issue. Just because you don't feel it doesn't mean someone else isn't feeling it. Doesn't mean that it's not happening. So I think these conversations are highly important, and that's why you tune into 7 p.m. in Philly.
For real, because we talk that real over here. We talk that real.
But other than that, man, that's all I got for this episode, bro. I think we spoke about it all, man. Got my ass fired up, bro.
No, as it should be though, as it most certainly should be, because we're passionate. But big shout out to the city though. We love the city of Philly, the city of brotherly love, and let's really try to bring the essence back of that though. We say that and we use that as a title. But let's really bring brotherly love and love back into the city like it needs to, because it really shouldn't be an oxymoron. No. As cold as this city is, you shouldn't even have that title next to it. So if you're gonna ride for that and say the city of brotherly love, let's really do that and stand on that and stand by that. Yeah. So because Philly culture, Philly city, the city, the music, just the essence of Philadelphia is such a beautiful, rich history. And if people actually take the time to learn the city of Philadelphia, you would appreciate more about the city and not look at it for just what you see out here. Absolutely.
I think at the end of the day, it was like, I'm essentially from Philly because I've been here majority of my life. And, people talking about, we need to ride for the city and this and that. Like, I think you need to really stand by that. Stand on, like, yo, you riding for the city? Are you really riding for the city though? Like, riding for the city means more than it's riding for your football team, your baseball team, your basketball team. It means more than that. You have to ride for your city to be economically sustainable. You know what I mean? You have to ride for your city so people can get to school in the morning. You have to ride for your city, people get to work in the morning. You have to ride for your city, people get to the doctors, man. So we have to, when we say we riding for the city, that's what riding for the city is. So when you're going to use that word, use that terminology, do that. Stand by that. You know what I mean? I'm riding for the city by us talking about this. Do your part.
Yeah, we do. And I'll leave it off with this too on my end. I was talking to my cousin, and one of the things that she was saying was like, she's a few years younger than us, so she's like 25, 24. And she was saying, I have hope for me as an individual. She said, but for our generation, Dwuan, she was like, there's nothing to look forward to. There's not much hope for us. Again, when our grandparents talk about their version of life and their version of whatever, they look at it with this sense of nostalgia. We get that little sense of nostalgia because we grew up in the era that we didn't. But for our next generation, our cousins up under us, bro, there's nothing to look forward to. So we need to do what we're doing and doing our part to bring hope to the next generation so they can have something to build off of and look forward to. Because this is why these kids out here doing what they're doing. And this is why they even walk around with the label as a YN. Yeah. This is why we even have YNs, because these are people. These are human beings with no hope and no direction and concept of life and where to go in life. So they're willing to carry that title on their back as a YN and do reckless stuff. So we got to bring hope back here too as well, man. So that's on me.
For sure, man. But with that being said,
we two passionate brothers, dog. I love this, bro.
I know.
All right, Pastor.
We doing this for y'all at the end of the day, man. Before we sign out, man, I just want to remind y'all Tap in with us, man. Subscribe, like, share, do all that, man. Send it to your mama, your auntie, your grandmama, your grandnanny, all of them. I mean, your babysitter. Send it all to them, man. With that, you got anything else before we bounce out of here?
It's all love.
It's all love, man. Take care of your community. Take care of each other. Like my man Jerry Springer say, he says, take care of yourself and each other. You know what I'm saying? Roll with that. With that being said, I'm Steve. This is Dwuan. Thank you for tuning into another episode of 7 p.m. We out here.
She.